If you are seeking a solution to overweight, obesity, bad food choices, and all the catastrophic effects of those things, but the whole nutrition plan thing seems overwhelming, I have some ideas worth your consideration. You are going to build a meal plan for one day that is comprised of as many whole foods as possible, contains your necessary macronutrients for weight management and performance, and micronutrients for critical bodily functions. It accounts for any genetic conditions and markers and fits your lifestyle. Now, that sounds like a lot of work, right? Well, it is at the beginning. You're going to figure out your daily calorie intake needs based on fat loss or maintenance or performance, whatever you're doing. You're going to determine how many meals you need to eat each day to make sure you're fueled, nourished, and not starving yourself. And you're going to get a food scale and weigh every damn thing you put into your body. And you're going to do this meal plan every single day. And I can hear you. You're yelling, I can't do all that every day. Who has the time and energy for that? If you follow this plan, you'll have a lot more time and energy than you do right now, because once you get rolling, you take decision fatigue off the table. You get really efficient at meal prep because you do it over and over again. You take bad choices out of the loop. You take worry off the table because you know what you're putting into your body. And you feel and perform better because you're fueling yourself properly. So, what does this look like? I'll give you what my day looks like. Now, this is built around my body and my needs. Yours will likely be different, but this plan is 100% scalable to anyone. Holler at me if you need a custom plan designed. I'm easy to find. All right. Now, I want you to remember what I said about weighing and measuring everything. You cannot control your calories and nutrients if you don't know what's going into your pie hole. Everything gets weighed. First thing in the morning, before you do anything, 24 ounces of water. If you need an electrolyte additive because you're super sweaty or you live in the jungle, whatever, you're losing lots of fluid, that's fine, but be careful with that. So 24 ounces of water, no exceptions. Coffee comes later. If you start your day with anything besides water, you're already putting your system under stress. So let's get to meal one. We are going 170 grams of fat-free Greek yogurt, real Greek yogurt, people, not that sugar-laced flavored BS you pretend is good for you. You know the added sugar in that stuff kills the bacteria that creates the probiotics. Stop eating that shit and stop feeding it to your kids. God dang. Anyway, I go fat-free because I'm getting my daily healthy fats elsewhere. This is an extremely healthy, low-calorie, high-protein food. Then we're going 75 grams of blueberries. I use IQF. That means individually quick frozen. There is nothing wrong with eating frozen fruit or frozen vegetables, okay? There's not a nutrient loss or any of those other myths you've heard. They're cheaper, and they last longer, and you can buy them in larger quantities. So 75 grams frozen blueberries. Let them thaw out. They kind of melt, and the cellular disruption in the freezing and the melting process creates some blueberry juice in there, which is kind of nice. But blueberries, if you're a psychopath like my wife and you hate blueberries, I suggest blackberries and or dark cherries. There's other good options like black currants and pomegranate, but we're trying to make this easy to source. Blueberries give you antioxidants, all kinds of vitamins, fiber, healthy carbs, and a low glycemic index if blood sugar is an issue for you. Next, and actually I start the bowl with this, but just trying to use some kind of coherent order. 12 grams of chia seeds soaked in skim milk or water, depending on what you want to do with that. Here we have all three micros, good fiber, omega-3s, and lots of vitamins and minerals. By the way, for time's sake, I'm not deep diving the entire nutrient profile of this entire day. I'm hitting the highlights. Now, you need to pre-soak your chia seeds to maximize nutrient release and to keep them from sucking all the fluid out of your digestive tract, because one chia seed soaks up about 27 times its own volume in liquid. I use 50 grams of skim milk for a little extra protein and nutrient value, but you can use water too. Next is 7 grams of flaxseed. Now that's ground flaxseed, not whole. If you eat whole flax seeds, they're just going to shoot right through you like a bullet and not do anything for you. The chia and flax have pretty similar nutrition profiles, but chia excels at bone and digestive support, and flax excels at cardiovascular health. They overlap on a lot of stuff, but they kind of shine in those two areas. Sidebar, absorption of some nutrients are inhibited by certain foods. For example, if you have an iron deficiency like me, you need to boost or supplement your iron intake, and you need to do it in a window of your day when you're not eating dairy or drinking coffee or tea. All right, so anyway, and I top this off with 30 grams of my homemade granola. Hit me up for the recipe if you want it. It's all organic, and it's made of oats, pecans, egg whites, coconut oil, maple syrup, honey, vanilla, and kosher salt. That's it. All right, meal 2, very simple. 240 grams, that's 1 cup, of skim milk. 240 grams, that's 1 cup, of water. 32 grams of whey protein isolate. That's it. Meal 3, this is a snack meal. It is, for me, 1 peanut butter chocolate RX bar. Yes, I know this is a processed, non-whole food, but I told you I'm not a purist. Sometimes you got to eat on the run or bridge a meal gap, and this product has a reasonable macro profile, no added sugar, and is made of actual food like dates, eggs, and peanuts. If you're allergic, figure it out. Figure out your substitute. They got lots of different flavors. Meal 4, this one I had to kind of jam into the plan because as I was designing this, I realized I wasn't getting enough vegetables. So it's a veggie bowl. We'll call it a bowl, whatever you want to do with this. 150 grams of broccoli, 120 grams of cucumber, 80 grams of carrots, and 30 grams of hummus. That's optional, but it's a nice addition to it. And on the side, 113 grams, that's half a cup of 2% cottage cheese. Not much explanation needed here. Good food that's low-cal, high value, and filling. Meal 5, here's the big meal, or what I call my dinner. And by the way, you can sort of move these around throughout your day. I know everybody's schedules are different, but as long as we're adhering to the backbone of this plan, you're good. So the big meal, it's 85 grams of lean and drained ground beef. Now, you can substitute ground chicken or ground turkey. Now, let's talk about the ground thing. It's easier to digest, gets into your system faster. But outside of that, if you just eat chicken breast or steak or turkey breast, it's fine. In fact, your body's actually going to work harder to digest it, so you'll burn slightly more calories if you eat non-ground meat. But simplicity's sake, I can buy this. It's easy for me to buy. I can buy it easily packaged, and I can cook it easily, and I can store what I'm not cooking easily as well. 85 grams lean and drained ground beef. 65 grams of sweet potato, again with IQF, individually quick frozen. Use frozen sweet potatoes. Get bags of them. You can keep them forever, okay? You know what I mean by forever. They'll keep a long time in your freezer. God, some people are so pedantic. 38 grams, that's 3 egg whites. 1 whole egg, 60 grams of raw spinach, 60 grams of bell pepper, and 1/4 of a medium Hass avocado. 10 grams of extra virgin olive oil, and 1 slice of lightly toasted whole grain bread. Be careful how much you toast bread. The more of that caramelization, the darker it gets on there, the more you are bringing oxidative properties into the process, and we don't want to promote cancer. I season all this. I do not season my meat when I cook it. I don't care. I'm not trying to build a palate pleaser here. I'm not trying to serve this to anybody. I'm trying to get nutrients into my body, but I season it afterward with black pepper, 3 grams of kosher salt, and crushed red pepper. Now, let me pause on kosher salt. Table salt is iodized. Iodine is good for the thyroid. So if you have thyroid issues, then forget about the kosher salt and just use iodized table salt. Okay? Again, there's a million variants that can happen there. This is a big meal made of whole foods that's loaded with good fuel and wellness. I just mix it up in a huge bowl and go at it. I don't care about plate presentation, all that stupid crap. But believe it or not, there's still dessert coming. I kind of do a repeat of my first meal, my breakfast meal. I just make a couple of substitutions to make it more dessert-like. 100 grams of Greek yogurt, 60 grams of blueberries. That kind of makes it almost like a frozen dessert. Oh, and I don't thaw them. I leave them frozen. So that kind of gives it like a frozen dessert kind of a feel. 30 grams of my granola that I told you about, and my one crappy ingredient of the day, a tablespoon of Nutella or peanut butter, depending on my mood. So there it is. That's my day in food basically every day of the year. The nutrition summary of this daily meal plan, my daily meal plan, hovers right at 2,100 calories, 58 grams of protein, 200 grams of carbs, and 75 grams of fat, with a balanced vitamin and mineral profile that I supplement with a multivitamin. One little tiny gap in here as I've gone back through it is vitamin D. But if you need more vitamin D, go outside, stand in the sun, okay? Meals are almost all whole foods with almost no added sugar or bad fats. This is fuel and medicine. The satiety factor is high, and the nutrient profile is such that I'm rarely hungry except at mealtime, and I'm properly fueled for my day. Of course, you need to be washing all this down with water, at least 64 ounces throughout your day, preferably 80 or more, not soda, not tea, not juice, water. By the way, you talk about genius marketing and just the absolute explosion of obesity and chronic disease. I'd love to go back and pinpoint the moment in time when drinking a soda, a cola, a pop, wherever you're from, with a meal became normal. That's insane. Like we package meals with sugar water. We package ultra-processed, high-fat, hyper-consumable garbage meals with sugar water. It's astonishing. Anyway, water. Because the mineral content of the plan... Because of the mineral content of the plan, you shouldn't need to supplement with electrolytes unless you're just absolutely getting after it and sweating a lot. If you do use an electrolyte product, take it easy. Toxicity is a real thing if you overconsume certain vitamins and minerals. And keep in mind what I said about scalability. This is simply a blueprint to get you going. Your size, weight, gender, health, genetics, and workload are all going to come into play. This is built for an active person of my size who wants to stay lean while maintaining or building muscle mass and prioritizes satiety and nutrients. If you need more calories, carbs, or protein, you can simply boost some of the ingredients like spinach or sweet potatoes, egg whites, yogurt, fruit, or milk. Just play with it and figure it out. Make this a sustainable plan for your own life. The point is to simplify the process of getting proper nutrition into your body and consume whole, nutrient-dense foods that are filling and provide the fuel for you to become a more capable human able to enjoy life. The protein distribution, fiber, healthy fats, micronutrients, glycemic profile, and satiety are the backbone of this plan. The biggest strength is behavioral simplicity. We eliminate daily food decision stress, impulse eating, convenience traps, and inconsistent fuel intake. This is how successful, capable, and well people eat, not because it's glamorous, but because it works.